Hey kiddies, it's Steve Siebold back with another installment of the Trump MAGA Cult's Guide to Raising Successful Children. Okay, many of you have messaged me across social media in the last few days and said, Mr. Siebold, I'm very upset about these ICE raids occurring across the country, all in Democratic states. And these poor people are being dragged out of their cars in school lunch lines, in Home Depot parking lots, on their jobs, picking crops for farmers and all these other things. And I'm very concerned because there's no due process. Isn't this kind of like Nazi Germany when the masked men pulled up in vehicles and pulled people into them without identifying themselves? Isn't that where this is all mirroring and this is all headed? Okay, let me calm you right now. Okay, all of these people you're seeing being detained by ICE, masked men in unarmed vehicles and unmarked vehicles. Here's the thing, they're all murderers, rapists, and killers. At least that's what they say on Fox News, so I'm sure it's true. And then, of course, Trump repeats it, and the MAGA cult repeats whatever Trump says because they're robots. And so I guess it's all true. They're all murderers, and these are terrible, terrible people. Don't worry about, that thing we taught you about the Constitution, about how everyone has a right, actually, whether they're citizens or not, if they're in the United States, about due process. In other words, they have to be checked out to make sure they're guilty of the crimes they're being accused of. Yeah, forget about that. We were just kind of kidding about that. I mean, it stood for 249 years, but don't worry about that. I mean, we didn't really mean it. Because you know why? What Trump says and the MAGA cult says and what they say on Fox News. You know how long it would take to give all these people due process and do it the right way? That would take too long, and we're in a real rush, so we're just going to throw them in vans, rip them out of their children's arms, and while the kids are screaming their heads off, these kids are going to be destroyed. Half their lives are going to be in therapy over this, but that's okay. Who cares about kids anyway? We don't care about kids. That's why we don't have any gun laws in this country. So it is what it is, kids. Don't worry, okay? Because you know why? At the end of the day, Daddy Trump's in charge. We all love and trust and respect Daddy Trump because, Jesus appointed him. He's the reason that Trump is the president, because it was all from Jesus. So no worries. Don't need to message me anymore about this. Just kind of ignore everything that's going on. Make sure you tune into Fox News every day where they always tell the truth.